Welcome to Money in the Air, the music podcast about neighboring rights, the royalties you earn from the public performance of your recordings and the business of music in general. Brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders. I'm Andrew, co-founder and chief royalty officer of Royalty.
Hi, I'm Gina Deacon. I work for Absolute Rights Management and I work with record labels and artists to ensure we claim the royalty income due to them.
I'm Stacey Haber and I'm from Inside Baseball Music Publishing.
Hi, I'm Tanya Oliveira. I work for Transparent Entertainment Group. I handle registrations and repertoires for performers and rights holders around the world.
Hi, welcome back to Money in the Air, the Neighboring Rights podcast brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders. We have a guest today. With us is Lee Morrison from rightsHUB. Could you do for our audience, please, just a little bio?
I own and run a platform called rightsHUB. I've been in the industry for a long time, starting as an electronic music DJ, progressing through working in a warehouse into the digital space, and then running what is now the world's largest independent digital distribution company. I managed all of their neighbouring rights across the group prior to setting rightsHUB up. The company was called Believe, just called Believe. It was then Believe Digital, but Believe.
Yeah, very good. And you left Believe and you set up rightsHUB because you know the problems in the neighbouring rights royalty stream, correct?
Exactly that. There was no real solutions for helping people in collecting and registering and making sure that they pay for their performance. So that's why we've been setting up the neighbouring rights part of rightsHUB.
And what does it do? How does it work?
So we give people the tools to maintain, manage, update, and then register their data with all of the different CMOs worldwide. We have some very clever technology, not just DDEX feeds and APIs and the likes, but other technology to help people with one upload to be able to then register with everywhere they need to send the data. This isn't just CMOs. We also deliver to companies that are collecting neighbouring rights on behalf of people. But the biggest thing for me is making sure that those data sets are up to date. We are the first, I believe, independent tech platform to have done the integration with the new RDX platform, which is the one point of registration for multiple CMOs, which I'm sure you know. That's taken us a long time. And I know for a fact that many people, especially in the indie sector, will not be able to do that.
And you say help with registration. Do you mean help with registering as a rights holder or performer at a CMO? Or do you mean registering recordings and releases and then claiming them as a performer?
Yeah, we don't own any rights, so we're not making any claims and taking any of the money. Our technology allows people mainly on the recording registrations, but we also do have a asset-only module where you can, through our export functionality, register on the artist side as well.
Say I, Stacey, as Inside Baseball, want to register directly with the Argentinian CMO, you could facilitate that.
Yeah, we just give the tech. So you would have to have your own agreement with them. You would have to be a member based on their requirements. We then give you the technology to make that easy to be able to, from the database, push buttons and register.
So it's like helping with the bulk upload to each CMO individually.
All can singular, but absolutely. It's all about giving people the tools to make it easy. But as I say, we are not going out and licensing and doing deals with the CMOs. We allow that to happen either through our users or through the companies that we deliver to.
And what's the web address if someone wants to check it out?
So ours is just rightshub.net. It's as simple as that. We're a very front-facing company, so people can always, there's telephone numbers there, there's email addresses and whatever else, and we have a contact form should anybody wish to get in touch.
And what else can rightsHUB help with?
So the whole thing for us is about giving people tools to manage their business on a day-to-day and make it easy. As we all know, the whole nature of the business means data needs to be sent to too many different places. It needs to be sent in different formats. You know, there isn't really anything apart from spreadsheets and Google Drives and Dropboxes and whatever to store this content. We help across the board. So we cover master neighboring and publishing all in one place, linking everything together. And as I say, then the ability to clean, polish, update, keep on top of that data, everything from contract level down through all your rights and asset in one place. But then the beautiful thing is that the ability to send that, if you're using, say, a Disco, or you're using a Curve royalty reporting, and you're using Absolute for your distribution, and you're using, you know, Centric for your publishing, from one upload in our system, you can facilitate all of those feeds. So we have feeds in and out of most major distributors and technological platforms because we're not owning the rights. We have technology for in and out, and that's part of the beauty of what we're doing. You can take data from one data source. You can put it into what we're doing. You can use our bespoke data doctor technology. And this is something we built for going in and spotting gaps where you need to update, missing data, what's right, what's wrong. And then you can send to the new endpoint or just keep it in the database. But 100%, we have feeds in and out. So our clients are everything from managers that are looking after performance stuff through to labels, publishers. We have many different modules in the system now, and you can use any module that you want to use. So it can be either or. And as I say, everything does link, but if it's not there, then obviously you just can't link through to it. Now, it can be any rights holders. We try and steer clear of the individual artists right now, but we have something coming which is more based around self-releasing artists. But no, right now it's more managers, publishers, bigger neighboring rights companies and distributors and labels that use our platform.
Let's just say I was a manager of an artist and I was looking to have my release submitted worldwide. I wouldn't be sending you any metadata. I would have access to the technology where I would input on a release by release basis, and my tools would be set up appropriately, say if it was worldwide, or if I wanted worldwide excluding US or something like that, I would have that function to be able to ingest that information rather than sending metadata as it used to be done in.
We're generally the source of truth and the point of truth. And one of the things with us delivering to all of the music recognition technologies is they see us as the source of truth. So our users generally will put the data into our system first. And we have a very specific red light, green light system, which is unique to what we're doing. And with each what we call a connection, when you hit the required data sets for that connection, you will go from red to green, meaning you can then send it. So we also incorporate training in there for people. We ensure that the data flows are clean going to the endpoint, to the connection. But it's all about the data that is put in by our clients, whether that is through a feed from somewhere else, whether that's through Excel imports, CSV imports, API, whatever. But they then have to go in and make sure that everything's right before they send it. Predominantly, we're just giving people the solutions.
It all comes down to the quality of the data at the end of the day, doesn't it? Basically, that is what's most important. So you've ingested the information, it's gone off to a CMO, let's say it's gone off to PPCA in Australia. What happens if there's a dispute? Where does that dispute go to?
Well, that depends on the CMO, as you know. So where we're registering with RDX, for example, there's a messaging service that we built in. So you can see if there's a conflict and somebody has been registering your repertoire elsewhere. With other CMOs, let's use PPCA, they will be speaking directly to their member. They're not speaking to us. But then what would happen is they obviously somebody has to update and assert their rights or revoke their claim. Once they do that, if our client has to revoke their claim, they just change the end date or whatever they do, depending on the connection, and then send the update delivery to them. Or they're, as we would hope they are, the people collecting legally and officially, then they would do nothing and the party would have to update.
And just again for our listeners, it's rightshub.net.
That's it. Yeah, just www.rightshub.net.
Thank you, Lee. This has been fascinating. And thank you for building that.
We keep on building new tech and we keep on building stuff to make people's lives easier. Nowadays with Mead, with data enrichment, if anybody knows what Mead is, it's all about voice search and recognition. You know, in this day and age of there being so much content across the world, I think it's hugely important. The indie community now is what, 38%, 36%, whatever they're saying of the global recorded music. We can be so much more anyway. So if we work with every client and everybody we work with to help speed things up. You know, we're trying to give people the tools to make it easy, and we continue to do that. And if there's ideas and people want to throw things at us and tell us pain points, that's what we're addressing.
And they can do that through the portal itself, correct?
With us and sort of tell us you can do it through, as I say, we have ticketing services, but I'm a big believer in the online. I'm a big believer in the phone and in meetings, and I try to do as many of the meetings as I can because every day we are learning new stuff. Even though I've been doing this for 30 years or whatever it is now, rightsHUB is all about creating that value, and every day we learn. Every client comes with something different and a pain point, and that's what we're trying to fix, to mean that the people that collect on the neighbouring rights and collect the revenue on both sides, not just the labels, for example, but the companies collecting on behalf of them, are all earning more money.
Thank you. This has been brilliant. And thank you guys for listening. Any questions you have for us about neighboring rights, info@ifr.co.uk. Any questions you have for Lee for rightsHUB, you know where to reach him now.
Lee, L-E-E, @rightshub.net.
Have a great week, guys. Thanks.